This is the Galactic Emperor of the Universe. I'm here to tell you all to subscribe to UnrealEntGaming and remember to turn on notifications. You will be the first to know all about the latest Dragon Ball news and information.
Oh, did you say UnrealEntGaming? Oh, I love his channel.
God damn it, Zelbon, stop rubbing your nipples and get back to bed!
Dragon Ball Super episode 93 is now officially in the history books, and joining me here today to cover Dragon Ball Super episode 94 is my good friend Devil Artemis alongside Emish's Live, as we're going to be sharing our thoughts and predictions going into Dragon Ball Super episode 94. So if you guys have any comments or opinions of your own to add, feel free to let us know down in the comment section below. You guys can go on ahead and check their channels out down below in the description. Boys, we've seen some really interesting stuff go down. Now, the community right now is just up in arms for several reasons. Number one, seeing as what happened with Kale and having her transformation and moves and abilities be very similar to Broly, you know, right down to the T, and then seeing the interaction with Frieza and Goku, and now going into Dragon Ball Super episode 94, we see that there are going to be these mysterious assassins hired to take down Frieza. Now, I wanted to get your thoughts on this because in the episode preview, we see that Sidra is in cahoots with Kitera, the Mouse God of Destruction, and they seem to formulate some sort of a plan to harm Universe number 7. So I want to start with Emish. Emish, what are your thoughts going into next week's episode, having to see Frieza now on Earth, or for only 24 hours, mind you, and seeing those assassins arrive? Do you think that, in your opinion, we're gonna see Frieza and Goku team up? And the reason why I'm asking you this is because it would make sense to see Goku and Frieza work together momentarily, just to give us like a sneak peek, you know, as to what's gonna happen in the Tournament of Power, and plus building some sort of like a relationship and seeing them work together and seeing Goku help Frieza, or even, you know, Frieza helping out Goku if the assassins chase, you know, Goku down. And I want to give everyone like a fair warning. In my opinion, these assassins are nowhere near the caliber of Hit. That's just my opinion. If you differ, let me know. But Emish, what are your thoughts going into next week's episode?
I think that idea is just like, personally, this is just me saying it.
Right.
I just don't like the idea as a whole. Universe 9, even thinking about hiring any kind of assassins at all, or even having any kind of involvement in this, when they have yet to even recruit fighters for their own team.
You're right.
To me, it's fucking stupid. Like, there's no reason for fucking Sidra at this point to even correlate, to even involve himself with anybody else. He has nobody on his team other than those 3 fighters who got wrecked in this as an exhibition match. So at this point in time, why are we concerned with a dead guy? You see what I'm saying? So,
right.
And Frieza right now, where he stands, his current strength is nowhere near what Goku and Vegeta are at this point.
Nope.
So that's nowhere near the scope of what you should be focusing on. The focus should be on Goku. The focus should be on Vegeta. The focus should be, and if they have this much intel, if this guy sent a spy to Universe 7 to spy on them, and he just so happened to come there now, all of a sudden when they just needed somebody, when they were just one person short, and he wasn't there to see the fight with Goku and Gohan. He wasn't there to see what was happening this entire time, the fact that Vegeta was training, to see that even Roshi was training, to see, you know, all these other characters on the team bettering themselves to prepare, and the only thing you're worried about is Frieza. To me personally, it just doesn't add up. Frieza should be, I don't want to say the last person on your worry list, but he should not be a a primary source of anything, because even right now, if they, let's say, so to speak, they couldn't even get Frieza, you know, then it is what it is. They would have to either A, answer with 9 people, or just freaking bring Yamcha.
Now, the reason why Emish is saying this is because Emish is bringing up good points. Sidra right now, he hasn't recruited anybody. So in case anyone is saying, oh, you're bashing on Frieza, no. Emish is pointing out the idea that Sidra has yet to focus on his own universe, but instead he's focusing on someone else, when the main concern should be your own universe. But I mean, at this point, I guess we can all agree that Universe 9 is no threat. I mean, they're last on the totem pole here. But Artemis, what are your thoughts going into next week's episode? Do you think that we might potentially see Goku and Frieza work together to fight the assassins, or is this going to be like a Frieza solo kind of thing? Because Goku did tell him in the preview, hey, you need to stop, like, chill out. So what are your overall expectations going into next week?
I mean, they definitely have to learn how to work with each other.
Right.
I feel like, you know, Emmett should bring up a point. Frieza is like nowhere near Vegeta and Goku's level, but we've seen how much Frieza can grow.
Right.
In a short amount of time. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, it's only an hour and a half left, but Frieza says that he's gonna get stronger Who knows how he can make the best of his time within that hour. I don't think he's going to. With these assassins coming and they're attacking Frieza, I mean, Goku and Frieza are going to have to put their differences aside and develop this relationship so that they can, you know, get rid of these assassins and focus on the Tournament of Power, which again is only an hour and a half away. I'm not really too sure how Frieza is going to contribute as much as Vegeta and Goku are doing. I mean, he has power, he's very powerful, but you know, I feel like he has an hour and a half. What is he gonna do? You know.
Well, that's why he baited Goku in. I think that a lot of people missed what he told him, and that's the fact that once Goku said no, like you're in no position to be, you know, bargaining or just asking for demands. Frieza said, "But wait a minute, aren't you curious on my evolution? Aren't you curious as to how strong I was able to get so fast?" And Goku's like, "Damn, you took advantage of my weak spot." You know, because Goku is. I mean, aren't we all curious as to how remarkable he is as a prodigy character to get so strong, to catch up to Goku within a few months, as Goku's been training for years? So he baited him in, and I think that what you just said, having an hour and a half left for him to get stronger, I don't think that should be a problem, especially if by some chance they were able to put him in the gravity room or even fight the assassins. Maybe that's gonna give him some sort of a boost, or even in the time chamber if it's fixed. But the point is, what was that?
Well, when Frieza was training for those 4 months, we have to keep in mind that he was training with Ginyu. If Frieza, for example,
not Ginyu, he was training with Tagoma, I think it was, right?
Tagoma. Yeah, and then he took, I'm sorry, and then Ginyu took
Tagoma.
Body. I'm sorry. He was training with him, and then if Frieza were to train with someone like Goku, for example.
Oh damn, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What if Frieza were to train with someone like Goku? What benefits would you know he get then? I mean, if that were to happen, it would have kind of been foreshadowed.
Right.
Frieza,
well, it kind of was back in ROF when Goku said, you know, you would have been like the perfect sparring partner if you weren't such evil, you know?
Exactly. So, you know, if Frieza progressed that much with someone who's not Goku, imagine what he's capable of when he's sparring with someone like Goku or even Vegeta.
Right.
Let alone Gohan. He could probably spar with Gohan and he'll get a lot stronger.
And here's the thing. I think that not everyone, but most people are kind of lowballing him in terms of like strength. Despite what people may say, if he really brings it at the Tournament of Power, he may be the third strongest person, considering whether or not they're gonna push Gohan down our throats. I mean, like I said, you know, off camera, you're gonna have to watch this Tournament of Power with your brains off, because you're gonna see eliminations that don't make sense. But that's just the point of this tournament. So, Emish, I want to go back to you. So, going into next week's episode, do you think, in your opinion, this is going to be like the last episode before we actually begin? Because it's been many weeks, months since we heard about this tournament, and they've been gathering everyone together. And with Sidra sending his assassins, and with Frieza having to, I think, kind of lose his sense of control, because he even told Goku, is killing aloud, with Goku saying, "Don't get ahead of yourself." And you know, that's when Frieza was like, "Oh, that's gonna be a bothersome." Like, I think, in my opinion, Frieza's gonna kill these assassins, in which Goku's gonna be like, "Yo, chill, that's not the point or the message we're trying to get across here." So do you think that Frieza's gonna kill the assassins, and do you think that this is gonna be like the last episode before we actually start to, you know, ramp things up and just begin the Tournament of Power? Like, what do you think?
Well, I would say that we've been saying it for a while, that I feel like Tournament of Power will probably begin around episode 97 for some reason. I feel like I'm just thinking 97 for some reason. I'm not sure why, but and granted that they are trying to add extra content just prior to the tournament start, like to give it a little dramatic effect, like the whole concept of assassinating Frieza, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's not necessary content, but they're putting it there. So obviously they're trying to milk it until we actually start the tournament, and then which will be around the summertime, you know, like official summertime starts and stuff like that. So I think that's what they're trying to do. But as far as Frieza killing the assassins, I would personally like to see that. It would be a good way for him to just blow off some steam. He just came back to life potentially for 24 hours, and what better way than to get that urge to kill that you have off than killing the people who are trying to kill you, and then to go to the Tournament of Power and then just get that out the way. You know what I'm saying? So in that essence, it would send a message that don't do that shit again. Like, you guys need to, like, the gods themselves don't fuck with Universe 7. It's just that simple. It would send a good message. That's personally how I would write it if it were me. Those assassins just don't deserve to live at all. and the gods need to realize that even to this day, they're still not doing what they're supposed to do. So even after being threatened that they're going to be erased, they still cannot grasp the concept of focusing on the task at hand, and that's their universe, and they're still not doing that. Instead, you have this douchebag Kotaro, whatever his name is.
Kiteri, yeah,
coming
the
out,
mascot.
Beatus, I'm sorry, but you have to disappear. Ki. Like, what is that? Like, who cares? You know, where is this coming from? Like, I understand that there's a...
They do have a beef. They have a long beef.
Yeah, I get that. But settle it in the tournament. You know, settle it there where it counts the most. Don't fucking go behind the dude's back and try to assassinate one fighter, Frieza. And I'm not shitting on Frieza. I'm just saying, assassinating Frieza will not hurt Universe 7 to that degree.
Maybe it's the concept that, you know, you have a dead fighter. It's like probably nobody else has a dead fighter on their team. So he's like, wait a minute, like you can't do that.
Right. Let's kill someone who's dead already.
Well, yeah,
like,
that'll erase them, I guess. So then they won't have a chance on having
exactly. Yeah, you're right. Exactly. That would erase them if he were to die in that form. So with the Halo on, he would be erased.
Yeah,
from existence
exactly. Like they're gone.
So, but even so, I just think the whole concept of that, like of utilizing the rivalry between Beerus and Kotaro this way, is cheap. It's really cheap, and he is a rat, so I'm not surprised that he's trying to take these kind of tactics.
Yeah, big ass rat. Yeah.
Right, but I just feel like it's really unnecessary at this point in time. Maybe if we got a little more foreshadowing or backstory to their actual rivalry earlier on, then maybe it would make more sense. It would be like, oh shit, this guy is really trying to do this guy dirty.
Yeah, and the only info we have on that was based on the Toei translation.
Right, and then just all of a sudden, just throwing Seadra into the mix, like, of all people, what does Seadra have to do with this? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm sure they're gonna explain it, and I know Seadra, he did say he has some kind of resentment towards Goku. It's unacceptable. But Universe 10 felt the same way. Ramush didn't like the idea, right? The other guys didn't like the idea.
Everyone felt that way, yeah.
Right. So the only one who actually said something positive was Jerez or Halise, whatever her name is.
The female goddess, yeah.
But, right. But other than that, there's no real correlation to why Seadra or anybody else at this point in time would get involved, because you know why? They're busy rounding up their universe. Ramush, he's an idiot, but he rounded up his fighters, didn't he? Universe 9 is not doing that. So this is where I'm saying it's unnecessary. They should have kept the rivalry between Beerus and Kotaro strictly between Beerus and Kotaro. There's no need to involve Universe 9, but at the same time, granted that Kotaro is a rat, it only makes sense that he would potentially try to take down other universes with him anyway by stalling them, potentially right. So getting Seadra involved is just one less person on Kotaro's hit list because he is a rat. So I wouldn't expect for him to try to help Seadra in any way, but more so stab people in the back left and right, which is very interesting in the way they're trying to handle it. But overall, I just don't like the idea. I don't think it's okay, but it is what it is. I mean, you know.
Artemis, aka Lord Frieza, do you think that Frieza, which is you, is gonna kill off the assassins? What do you think?
Oh, I'm going to shove it right at their ass. My tail is, the base is gonna be hanging out their buttholes. Freaking Frieza, man. Frieza is definitely gonna take out the assassins.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, listen. I feel like this is one of those cliche moments where, you know, someone sends to get the job done and like
it backfires on you completely.
It backfires, yeah. But I feel like, you know, Goku's gonna prepare to fight the assassins, and Frieza's just gonna completely
kill them. Yeah,
wreck their shit. And you know, Emish mentioned something. He said that, you know, they're adding content, and you know, this episode technically really isn't necessary, right? I feel like this episode is there for a reason. They're gonna reveal something. Either Frieza has been doing something, or Frieza has something up his sleeve that they want to show. They're probably, if they're gonna put Frieza as the target, Frieza's probably gonna do something that's gonna reveal either a new ability or anything. Because you know what, that comment that he made about, you know, having Goku be curious about his evolution.
Yeah,
I actually found a lot of interest in that, because that could maybe, I mean, it's promoting growth for Frieza, you know. So Frieza can grow, and once he's back to life, if they, you know, keep their end of the bargain, Goku and friends, Frieza could potentially become stronger. He knows how strong he can get, and he knows what led to his downfall. Frieza's not stupid, to an extent. I feel like if he really focuses, I mean, he's a prodigy, you know, he definitely will get stronger. But he's gonna kick the assassins' asses. They're gonna be, you know, no challenge. It's like Emish said, killing off Frieza regardless will not hurt Universe 7. They should be really focusing. If they were gonna focus on somebody, it should be Goku. Other than that, it's a waste of time.
I really feel as if there's gonna be some sort of like a intertwining between those two in terms of like emotion, because Frieza, as Emish said, is really pissed on the idea that, you know, and not the fact that he's like back, but the fact that Goku brought him back. It's like the guy that he hates the most. And did you guys see how his eye was twitching the whole time he was talking to him? Like, you can see the hatred. And I also want to let everyone know that this coming week, this Monday, we're going to have several discussions talking about Kale and whatnot, and I want to touch up on that very briefly, and I don't want to give away too much, because I know that some of us in here may agree or disagree. I know Emish is probably like pissed because it's an exact copy and paste. They went to Toei and they were like, copy and paste it, same thing. So they copied the exact same concept. But what did you guys think of Kale and the way she just obliterated Kaba, poor little Kaba, and then having to have Super Saiyan 2 Khalifa, you know, break the entire situation and calming everyone down? Like, what did you guys think about that? I want to start with Devil. What'd you think?
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
With Kale, like, what did you think of the whole situation with Kale?
Oh, with the copy and paste?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what can I expect? I mean, we've known that she was gonna be a Broly ripoff. I mean, not that it's a bad thing. I personally, before I go into this, to letting everybody know who's watching, I am a Broly fan, not like a fanboy. Like, I don't think Broly's the best thing in the world, but I enjoy his character design. I enjoy everything about Broly except his backstory. I think his backstory was complete garbage. But Broly's cool. He's a badass character. I mean, come on.
Right.
Who doesn't think Broly is badass? The way he looks is badass. The concept of the legendary Super Saiyan is badass. And the fact that they're, you know, giving us this fan service and bringing him back in a way, you know, through Kale, I appreciate it. Now, when Kale transformed, I feel like looking at the attacks that she made with the, you know, the Omega Blaster, the chest key blast thing, it's just, you know, just her yelling and transforming and powering up. I mean, she's a female, so she's a bit smaller than Broly, but all of that just like brought back all this nostalgia. Like, holy shit, you know, like even the, you know, you Kappa, you will be the first.
Not the first of my victims, yeah.
Be the first of my victims, you know, and it's true. It's like she is the reincarnation of Broly anyway. Now, what I was talking about with the others, in your Discord server, Alex, was if they were to pull off what they did with Tarble, which is Vegeta's younger brother,
right?
They could possibly make Broly canon if they were to mention him. So if Goku, say Kale, you know, shows up at the Tournament of Power, what if Goku and Vegeta were to say, hey, doesn't she kind of look like that legendary guy that we fought before? That would make Broly canon. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that would make Broly canon. It's kind of like what happened with Tarble when he was mentioned.
I doubt they'll do, because like the way they're focusing on Kale right now, like that's going to be their variation of what Broly was supposed to be.
Right, but if they were to make Broly canon in a way,
that's all they need to do. That's all they need to do.
All they need to do. That's all they need to do to make the fans happy. Broly fans, anyways. But yeah, you know, Kale, definitely a badass character. I'm excited to see more of her for sure.
Now, Emish, I know you feel a little differently, perhaps. What's your take on this?
I don't think Broly needs to be a canon character for us to appreciate him in general. But I get what you're saying. Like, I agree with what he's saying to an extent. I think if they were to just even mention Broly to that extent, then everything else with the Broly backstory would also come with it. Paragus, right? Then people are gonna start asking questions about Goku's father, Bardock. It's just one thing that leads to another. That all of these things that were based on movie, you know, iterations are now all of a sudden being canonized, and that's a word I'm just creating right now. Canonized because of something that is mentioned in a canon iteration of, you know, being the anime.
Right.
So I don't think it's healthy for them to even mention Broly to that extent, because it kind of degrades the quality of the concept of the legendary Super Saiyan or any legend that is in the Saiyan lineage as a whole. So we have the legendary Super Saiyan, but then now we have Super Saiyan God, and then Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, which the theory and the concept of that as a whole completely obliterates the idea of any kind of a legendary Super Saiyan that you could think of that isn't a Super Saiyan God. So when to that extent, I don't think Broly needs to be canon for us to appreciate him as a character. I think I liked the way she transformed. I totally agree with Artemis when he was talking about the nostalgia, because my heart was racing when she was, you know, just running around, and it made me want to watch the movie again. But then I quickly realized that this isn't Broly. and it was never meant to be Broly as a character
yeah.
because of his backstory. Just like Artemis said, it wasn't there. Because of all that stuff that happened, it wasn't there. So there's no real way that you can actually give us the original thing, the real thing, just by basing it and putting it into another character, which is why I would have preferred that Kale have her own backstory. That this, the way they said it, they even said it in the show, the episode. Oh, this is her Super Saiyan form.
Yep.
This is what she looks like. So they could have kept it like that without adding all of this. You Kaba, you know, you die first. And
yeah,
then
you
she
die
just goes,
first. Yeah, yeah.
And then
yeah.
she just goes, and then she looks at him, Kaba, kill. Like she can't speak proper English anymore. She can't speak proper, proper language anymore. All of a sudden, just because she transforms. To me, she's not changing into an ape, right? Where she can't talk no more. She's just transforming. So there was really no legitimate reason to add that. The attacks, though, I'm totally fine with, because again, it's based off of Broly. The fighting techniques make sense that she would rampage around, start throwing, smashing him into mountains. The crater underneath her, the way she flew in the air, the same way, broke, right? The way the atmosphere around her was changing, the Omega Blaster, all that stuff was great to see. But just making her a spitting image in terms of Broly's personality, like the way he views Goku, but only throwing that on Kaba instead, just because she potentially thought that Kaba and Caulifla are being friendly towards each other.
Yeah, a little too friendly. Yeah,
it shits on the concept of what already was a bad idea of Broly's backstory. So now, and then Caulifla with Super Saiyan 2, I'm not even sure where in the blue hell.
That came out of nowhere.
Yo, that came out of nowhere.
Guys, we need something completely unexpected.
Out of the brew.
Something no one can see coming. So it's
They must have watched the video. They were like, we do need something out of the brew.
But bro, she just smacked that Omega Blaster.
That raises questions. And again, guys, we're gonna talk about, is Caulifla potentially stronger than Kale?
And they didn't even look at her in any different way. Like, wait, Caulifla, they didn't sense her getting stronger.
No, nothing. They were just like, oh, okay.
Electricity and all this other stuff. Oh, and by the way, this whole concept of Whis mentioning that, oh, there is a universe where a mortal, there's a mortal.
There is a mortal, guys, a mortal, not mortals.
Right. That gods of destruction cannot even beat, and this god of destruction happens to be stronger than Beerus, and then nobody reacts to that. They just go talking about Frieza again. Krillin's like, anyway, Frieza. And Goku's
yeah,
like,
right.
Frieza.
No, but Beerus did mention how he lost once in an arm wrestling match, but that was pretty much it. Yeah,
I get that, but there's no surprise factor there. Like, wait a minute, what? There's a mortal. Like, Goku.
Right.
You would think Goku. Right. You would think Goku would be like, what? There's someone
stronger than Beerus.
Oh, I have to fight this guy. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, right, but there was no kind of like acknowledgement at all. Yeah. So this is why, and this is what I was saying.
I think for Kaba's defense, he was like too much in shock after what the hell happened, because like he was like, what's going on, bro? Like, I have.
Yeah. But this is what I'm saying, where that's why I feel like this whole concept of formulating to assassinate Frieza was unneeded in this episode. They could have thrown it in the next one and gave the Universe 6 era a little more spotlight, as well as the interaction between Goku finding out that there is someone stronger than an actual Hakaishin at this point. So it's okay. I mean, it's already done. But I would say overall, going into next week's episode, I just want to see somebody die, bro. Like, I just have to see somebody die.
Frieza's bound to do that,
Frieza's gonna kill people, bro. He's about to fucking...
No, he definitely... I think he's gonna slaughter the assassins.
I want to see some death beams in the face or something, please.
And as I said before, guys, it's not hit-level assassins, because that would be too much. I mean, and I counted 8, so there's no way they're sending 8 hits to Universe number 7.
You know, it'd be cool if Frieza does the same thing he did to Krillin to the assassins. Pop goes the weasel.
Oh yeah, like he picks them up. Yeah.
What I want to see Destructo discs. I want to see the fucking that sphere that he trapped Goku in. I want to see some old moves, man. Like that. That would be another nostalgia.
I could see him torturing them. I could see Goku saying, "Yo, you need to like chill, because like you can't do this in the tournament." Because like when he told Goku, when Goku told him you can't really kill, he was like, "Ah." Like
Goku has never really been against killing if the person's bad.
But the way Frieza said it, it was like, is killing allowed? Like, buddy, for your sake, you're lucky killing's not allowed, because if hit comes across you, you're finished, bro. So just be thankful for that. But again, guys, we have lots of things to cover this week, so make sure you guys tune back into the channel. Also, subscribe to Devil Artemis and Emish's live down below. I will link their channels, boys. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you all for watching. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like on the video. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Hopefully enough, if you guys do that, we will participate in your little tournament, hopefully enough. But thank you guys for having me, or thank you thank you for joining me, not having me. I'll be joining you guys on your videos. Emish is gonna be hopefully live streaming again. Devil Artemis is gonna be coming out with content this entire week. So thank you guys for watching. As always, tune back in for more, and we'll be seeing you guys in the next episode. Take it easy, everybody.